When you build something or express your perspective, thoughts, or feelings through any medium, do you call yourself an artist, a maker, or creator? We talked with Andy Driscoll about the inclusivity of creative expression, why we do it, and who it's for, from his perspective. Here's Andy Driscoll on The Local Scene.
Hi, my name is Andy Driscoll, and I'm a maker and creator. Early on, I was interested in art, and I found my place reading comic books and watching Saturday morning cartoons and drawing, and I loved fantasy stories, Dungeons and Dragons. At the time, that was kind of what was important to me as a kid. It's weird how those little decisions kind of like go and shape your life and build into, you like to make stories and tell stories, and it's an interesting thing to look back and kind of go like, what made Andy Andy? You know, I can look back at shows like Captain Bob, and he was on super early Saturday mornings and like a step-by-step teaching you how to draw. And I would go to the library and take out, it was a series of books called Draw 50, and each book was, draw 50 insects, draw 50 animals, and I would always take those books out, and that's just kind of what I gravitated to for some reason. As I got older, I thought it might be a career path, and went to art school for a bit, and then from there, life happens, and it's been a really strange journey. And about 12 years ago now, we started a club and evolved into a company where we kind of focus on building events that promote the arts and create online content. 400-something years later, and now I'm here. Art can be everything from the Mona Lisa to a banana duct tape on a wall. And they both have their place, and they're both important in different ways. And we do an art fair on the Town Hall Green, and we have to curate it so it's only art, but then you try to draw that line, like what is art and what isn't art, and why is this jewelry art and this jewelry isn't art? And I don't love the term artist anymore. I prefer maker or creator because I don't get to draw as much as I used to, and we're creating communities for artists, and we put together stand-up comedy shows, which I think are just as good and just as important as a painting. I always say, buy what you like. Fine art is money laundering. There's no better way to say it. If you think something is worth $200, then you should pay $200 for it. And you shouldn't try to explain it to someone else because it means something to you. So defining art is kind of really hard, and it's like I don't know how to describe it, but I know it when I see it. We interview people from all over the world on our show, and we're in a weird influx of content coming out because you had people that released content, be it books, music, art, whatever, that immediately had to go into quarantine. You had people that created a bunch of stuff while they're in quarantine. So it's just like there's this kind of influx, and then you have like the SAG and AFTRA strike, which is kind of holding things up. So I feel like within the next couple of years, there's just going to be like this truckload of stuff like coming out that's been in limbo of one kind or another. So there's that, but there's also, it is easier and easier to get your content out. And as silly as an idea can be, if it's done well and it's entertaining, and whether you're doing it for fun or whether you think it's gonna make you money, that it's a great release. It's therapeutic, The best content is the stuff that is really genuine. It doesn't take long to watch a video or listen to a podcast where you're like, ugh, this person's just promoting something, which we work really hard on our podcast to avoid. I know the bands are there to promote their albums, or the authors are there to promote their book. And you have to include that promotion bit because that's why their PR person got them on the show. But that's the last 10 minutes. If we spend 40 minutes getting to know the person, and I like that person, and then at the last minute they're like, oh, go check out their comic book, I'm like, okay. But if you spend 45 minutes being like, check out my comic book, check out my comic, why? I don't care, The people who are being interviewed really appreciate it because they're like, this was fun, this was casual, this flew by. So like all those little things that they may say at the end, I'm like, that's when I know I'm doing my job right. I always say my favorite episodes of the Nebri Art podcast is when a stranger walks in and a friend walks out. The world of art, I think, if you're looking forward to it, you're not doing it right. Because I feel like the best stuff is the stuff that you discover without even looking for, that you stumble across, or someone's like, hey, you should read this book, or check out this band. Really good work finds you at a very specific time. So I could listen to it now and it mean nothing, and then my life changed in 2 years and I listened to it again 2 years later and it means the world to me. There's that influx of stuff that I'm sure will be coming out within the next 2-3 years, whatever. I just love finding new stuff, because then you get to share it. Sharing and a different kind of collaboration, I really, really enjoy that. And I want to come up with new ideas and create new stuff. And sometimes you create it just to have that enjoyment of creation. So not everything that we create actually, comes out, which is why, Prince will be dead for 10 years and they'll still be coming out with new Prince songs. Because sometimes you do it and it's not about, getting it in front of the world. Sometimes it's just getting it out of your head. I think people should stop comparing whatever kind of medium they work in, even if it's poetry or music or whatever. Stop comparing yourself to other people. It's not about creating the Mona Lisa or the banana duct taped to the wall. Sometimes it's about the process and how it can be beneficial to your mental health and just your level of enjoyment. If you feel like drawing, draw. If you want to color in a coloring book, color in a coloring book. If you want to write poetry and never show it to anyone, do it. Like, everyone should create something. And if you don't want to share it with anybody, then you don't have to. It's more the process of the creating that is beneficial, not, hey, look at this cool thing I have. It's nice to be at that point, but it's bringing something into the world from nothing is a really fun experience. And we all steal at some level. We went to art school and they took us to master paintings and they're like, recreate this painting. And you're like, I guess, but you still learn from that process. So it's a very exciting time, I think, to be a creator.
To keep up with Andy and Inebriart, visit inebriart.com.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw and want to stay up to date with our latest content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It's the best way to make sure you never miss out on the amazing discussions, insights, and entertainment we bring your way. And hey, if you find value in today's video, be sure to give a thumbs up by smashing that like button. We'll see you next time.